Hi folks, it's James. It's Friday. I've got some electrical power for a change, so that's something that's very welcome here. So let's look at the charts. First of all, the dollar has moved down as we hoped and expected, and it's quite good actually. Big engulfing candle moving down and rejecting now at that triple top. Actually, if you scoot back further, you could call that a quadruple or a sextuplet top, I suppose, but rejecting quite sharply as the oil fears subside just a little bit in the Straits of Hormuz. All of the names that I'm long on this page, it's not all of them, you can have a look at the positions and you'll know in the private group, are doing really well. And in fact, if we look at the stock market, you'll see the NASDAQ managed to hold support, as did the S&P. I'm not saying it will do today, and I've still got the two paths in mind. We'll follow the red path or the green one. At the moment, I'm positioned long, but we'll switch to short if need be. Same on the S&P, holding just by the skin of its teeth, and entering, just touching that invalidation zone, not getting through it, and bouncing quite sharply yesterday. Still under the 200 period moving average, so still weak. I'm also long on the S&P. I might add some more today, actually. These are not huge positions I've got on, but if we break down and hold below the invalidation zone, I will exit and probably hedge and go short. Similar on the German 30, but not quite as convincing. Once again, there are some names on this page, including Rumble, MSTR, Google, Coinbase, Nvidia, that I'm long on, and some of the names on this page as well, including Circle, Tesla, TSM, Microsoft, I'm not long yet, Palantir, and Meta, I'm looking to get long later. On crypto, Bitcoin managed to hold support, believe it or not. This is the day chart and bounced out of that 50% Fibonacci that I talked about. And we actually held the 20 and the 50-day confluence right here. Although we penetrated down below to the 50% retracement level, we closed actually on the line or above it. So still relatively bullish on Bitcoin. And on the 4-hour chart, quite a nice reversal. Although I have to say, this doesn't look all that convincing, kind of flaggish. And just look at the volume bars down below. Almost no volume and dropping off as we speak. So I don't know, with risk assets, Bitcoin included, including stock markets, gold, etc., all that sort of thing, with missiles flying over, Straits of Hormuz still not sorted out, and missile attacks on the neighbors of Iran causing all sorts of consternation. So the asset market, including crypto and Bitcoin, is certainly not bullish at the moment. And even here on the 4-hour chart, Bitcoin has still not even got above the short-term moving averages. And on the day chart, as I said, we are holding that confluence of the 50 and the 20 period. So we've got a chance of holding here today. I've got small longs in Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, and I've mostly abandoned the small cap altcoins. Right, on gold and silver, gold made a bit of recovery. This is the 4-hour chart. This is our main play, gold and copper. I'm hedged on silver, so we won't talk about that much. But gold did try to hold support as well. That's the 100-period moving average, and that blue line is the 1.618 Fibonacci extension that we broke up through on the previous attempt. There it is there. That's actually the breakout level, which we've now returned to, and there's every chance that gold will hold here if it's going to remain bullish. It seems like central banks think so, and many investors as well, including some of the large hedge funds. So yeah, there's a chance we'll hold here, but don't hold your breath. We might need to visit a wee bit lower. And then copper, I was long on copper, but now I've hedged that long position on the breakdown through the 100-period moving average and that flat bottom support in what looks like a head and shoulders pattern. This head and shoulders pattern is now actually almost complete at the 200-period moving average here on the day chart. We spiked down into it, the breakout level, double top, and we just about got there. And I think this looks quite good for copper if we manage to hold here. This is an excellent level to be buying at, as copper is likely to be bid up along with demand for munitions and electricity. Along with copper, whilst we're talking about electricity, there's a great deal of demand for natural gas as well, in what might be called private electrical input, or another term for it, I'm not sure, as the power grid in the USA is pretty much maxed out. So any new electrical creation for data farms, Bitcoin farms, industry growth, etc., may have to be provided in part by private capital, private ventures, and natural gas is the go-to source for that energy generation. So a constant bid under natural gas. And now, of course, we've got serious damage to the oil fields on both sides of this war in the Straits of Hormuz, with both sides having bombed a portion of those oil fields. It looks like it's going to take years to fix, and that will create probably a 5-year, 5 to 10% bid under natural gas. I know that the US is not directly involved in it, but any bid under natural gas, seeing as the US is a net exporter, will be likely supportive for prices in the US too. So with that backdrop in mind, I remain bullish on natural gas generally overall, allowing for dips down to $3 and just below. But I think the range is $3 to $5 roughly, with spikes up and spikes down below those levels, but generally about that. And we're now trading at just over $3 at $3.12. I'm still long. We were hedged overnight. I took the hedge off at break even, and we're now still long again. I'm looking for a move up to 375, the green arrow, and perhaps with a bit of luck, 425. I've explained all of this in previous videos throughout this week. We've been covering natural gas, oil, metals, etc., and the stock markets and everything else, of course, in videos every single day this week because it's been such a tumultuous week. So go back and have a look at some of those videos if you want to know some of the rationale behind my thinking on things like natural gas, gold, oil, etc., stocks and everything else that we're trading. Now, crude oil, let's first of all look at Brent crude. I'm not trading this, I'm trading WTI, but what's interesting on the Brent crude chart is a precise double top at $113 and 50, 60, 70 cents, something like that. We approached that very dramatically yesterday as there was more activity and bombing and so on going on in the Straits and around that area, and but collapsed right back down again, as it looks like the Europeans and the Saudis might be getting involved in the war, and even people like Japan might be involved in protecting their oil transport routes. So that seems to have driven the price down a bit. We're short on WTI. I've added more. I've doubled up on this. We have a double top here at the 61.8% Fibonacci level of the move up from the bottom to the top. And we've double topped it. But yesterday's candle was an inside candle. It's neither bullish nor bearish. And in fact, if you look at it, we did go slightly, fractionally higher than the previous day. So I said it was an inside candle, but well, the body is at least. But we did go slightly higher, and we have a slightly higher low too. So technically speaking, yesterday's candle was still bullish for crude oil. If we break above these levels now, I will hedge the entire lot and look for a move up to $104. That's the 0.786% Fibonacci, and potentially a move all the way back up to the top. I don't think that's the most likely scenario, and I think we will really try to hold here with lots and lots of pressure from the international crowd and, of course, Donald Trump in the US too. No one wants high oil prices and energy prices driving up the cost of living, cost of transport, and the cost of everything. So every effort will be made to keep these prices under $100. And folks, that's it for today. Hope you have a wonderful trading day and a great weekend. Don't forget to tune in on Sunday for Sunday Night Live. The links are now up on the channel. Go and click on it. Make sure you press the notification bell so you don't miss it. And I'll see you there. Have a great weekend. Be careful. This weekend could be the deciding factor in whether we see an abysmal March across the board with oil and gas prices staying high, asset markets dropping off. On the other hand, today might finish pretty strong, putting a bid under the market and leaning into a positive rest of the month. I don't know what's going to happen, but be careful. Take care, and I'll see you on Sunday night, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
I met her on a Monday, flickering screens, stale coffee breath, natty gas on the left side, heat on the right. They called it the Widowmaker, like a joke they told too often, just a seasonal spread kid. But the room went quiet when it moved. Widowmaker, she don't ring the bell, she just slips the number higher while you tell yourself it's fine. Widowmaker, she don't shout or yell, she just leans into